So I will now turn to Silvia Cugini, who is the regional president of the Italian consumer organization ADOC. And Silvia is going to dig a little bit deeper into this ECHO project and the work it's been doing. But before I do pass to Silvia, let me just remind you again to keep your questions coming for Silvia throughout her presentation, because we do have a short Q&A session after her presentation. So Silvia, I will pass the floor to you.
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Floriana, and good morning to everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. I'm Silvia Cugini, President of ADOC Piemonte, and in my speech, I illustrate first, the dual food quality issue. Second, the project consortium. Third, the ECHO project with its objectives, deliverables, results, for costs, and then in conclusion. First, the dual food quality issue. To understand the ECHO project, it is necessary to explain first the concept of dual food quality. In the last 3 years, dual quality of European products is an issue that has been gaining more attention. Consumers for a number of EU countries have complained that the composition of certain products is different in their home country when compared to products sold under the same brand with very similar packaging in other member states. So we could define it as a practice in which companies use different recipes, formulations, or standards for items sold under the same brand name and with very similar looking packaging, without legitimate and objective factors. It must be underlined that this flexibility shouldn't represent an alibi for the brand to not ensure clear explanations regarding ingredients included in the market food products. The aim must not be to find a pretense, rather to ensure that the choice of different quality or quantity in the ingredients is motivated by solid reasons that don't involve economics factor profitable for the firm. Therefore, the double quality turns into different levels of attention, depending on the country where the final product will be marketed. Facilitated by the emergence of the most different food needs, producers felt free to arbitrarily vary the quantity and sometimes also the quantity of the goods, offering the best only in the states where public opinion and institutions are uncompromising in terms of nutrition. It can be almost be defined as discrimination perpetrated without the knowledge of unsuspecting second-class consumers, located mainly in Eastern European countries. It is also important to remember that under European Union law and single market principles, traders are free to differentiate their products for different markets. However, consumers can be misled by different products being presented to them as identical in the absence of legitimate and objective reasons. These reasons are the following: voluntary strategies that are applied to improve access to healthy and nutritious food. Second, availability or seasonality of the raw materials. Third, national legislation that may vary regarding the required minimum amount that products need to contain of a certain ingredient. This is the scenario where the project starts from. So let me go to the core of my speech. So what is the ECHO project? ECHO stands for Empowering Consumer Organizations, and the project aims to create and promote an harmonized approach tackling dual quality in food products. This initiative consists of a European consumer program. The consortium is composed by 3 organizations from 3 different European countries. ADOC is an Italian association of a consumer recognized the Ministry of Economic Development, member of a Consumer and User National Council since 1999. ADOC is present in all 20 Italian regions with bureaus which give the public information and support. With particular reference to the food sector, ADOC, with the support of local institutions and the academic world, have developed a project of consumer information concerning the quality of products and food security and counterfeiting. The common goal is to direct consumers towards a more responsible and sustainable consumption. The second partner is SAFE. Safe Food Advocacy Europe is a European NGO whose objective is to ensure that consumers' health and concern remain at the core of the EU's food legislation. SAFE is currently funded by the LIFE NGO program of the European Community, and it's also the coordinator of 2 Erasmus projects, one on permaculture and one on adolescent obesity. SAFE, therefore, has expertise on managing projects of the EU level. Finally, InfoCons. InfoCons is a Romanian consumer organization founded in 2003 in the aim of protecting the rights of consumers and raising awareness among consumers. As partner in EU projects, InfoCons actively participated in the development of non-formal educational materials and thus has experience in the development of such materials. Moreover, InfoCons has already conducted studies on dual food quality in Romania and addresses this issue at the European Consumer Consultative Group. With the formation of this consortium, it started the collaboration among these 3 partners, working together to reach the purposes of the initiative. What about the objectives? The ECO project aims at limiting dual quality practices in food and strengthening consumer organization in the EU, and intends to strengthen the capacity of consumers' organization to test food products for dual quality, disseminate test results, and identify and report potential unfair practices. Our project wants to create a structure based on consumer organization able to alert and provide the relevant authorities at national and EU level with a full and accurate assessment on dual food quality in the EU. By raising the awareness of the relevant authorities on this issue and by providing them with full and accurate information, our project will help to tackle this problem. Thus, the main project objectives have been develop a guidance to test products, to empower consumer organizations to foster cross-national cooperation, and finally, to improve advocacy to have better policies in the EU. The aim to develop a guidance is based on the EU harmonized testing methodology, developed by the Joint Research Center of the European Commission. The purpose of the testing methodology proposed by the JRC was to assess quality related to the characteristic of food, aiming at improving food products comparative tests so that member states can discuss this issue on a sound and shared scientific basis that is the same for all. This methodology was subsequently used to collect information on the composition of the wide variety of branded and private label food products. The nutrition declaration, ingredients list, and quantitative ingredient declaration as printed on the product labels and the front of pack appearance were used to categorizing products according to their similarity. Concerning deliverables and results, from these premises, training materials have been developed during the project to accompany consumer organization to test products, and the results are the following: a guidance, a manual, a tutorial video, an info section, and finally, an online platform. The first output is a guidance on testing products and identifying misleading branding strategies. This guidance is inspired by the previously mentioned EU harmonized methodology on testing products and explains in a detailed way what the issue of dual food quality is and what needs to be taken into account when performing tests on food products. The second output is a manual on testing food products for dual quality. This manual is designed to help consumer association to correctly implement the principles described in the guidance. The manual is structured as a visual step-by-step guide on how to properly use the guidance. Both the guidance and the manual come in English, French, Italian, and Romanian languages. The best results would be to get both the documents translated in the idiom of each involved country, so that all the compliant consumers association could have access and use the trading materials with no limits. Some organizations out of the consortium are already working on this purpose, and we would be glad to involve you also in this sense. The third output takes the form of a series of videos explaining various aspects of how to correctly test products for dual food quality. These videos come in the form of a cartoon, and they are the perfect tool to approach the dual food quality issue and share the message among the interested bodies, authorities, and associations. The info section took place at the end of June, and it was addressed to the European Consumer Association to involve them in the project and reach a number of tested products as high as possible. The platform contains a database reporting all the efforts made by the Consumer Association compliant to the project. It contains the results of the tests conducted on food products, and consequently, it shares misleading branding strategy, so that all the interested stakeholders can have access to the complete range of information in current situation about dual food quality issue. The project also aimed to create a certification system with the registration of food companies to improve the defense of consumer associations. The certification works as a form of guarantee to prove that the food company is aware of the dual food quality issue, and it will apply itself to tackle it and to provide the same food standards in all the European Union countries, reached by the supplied food products. The dual food quality phenomenon has never been considered as extremely relevant, but it has gained more attention in these last years. For this reason, it is necessary to pay specific attention to this issue, and a potential path consists of engage not only the Consumers Association and the competent authorities, but also food industries to tackle the root problem and establish a relationship of collaboration among the different stakeholders. Furthermore, the final purpose of the project is to foster cooperation between consumer associations, competent authorities, and private stakeholders through this final conference in order to present the results of the tests conducted by the partners. This meeting will work as further tool to understand how to conduct a test campaign and how the results can be shared among the project partners. To sum up, the ECO project aims to fight the dual food quality issue by testing food products in European level and compare them from the packaging, list of ingredients, and nutritional declaration points of view. In order to reach this objective, training materials have been realized and shared so that it could be possible to conduct the test campaign with a sound and harmonized method all across Europe. Furthermore, through this project, the Consumers Association will have the opportunity to deepen their knowledge about dual food quality and foster cooperation among them. Concerning the first gaps, as a Consumer Advocacy Association, we put the right on individual citizen first. The latter deserves to receive transparent and clear information, especially when it comes to food products. This is the reason why we believe that the ECO project can be very impactful. Buying a product of a certain brand also means place trust in the quality and transparency of the company. ECO was also created to increasingly reduce the gap that can arise between the quality expectation of a product and its actual validity. We look forward to an ever wider involvement of the countries in which the products are tested, so that the exchange of information is always higher and no longer as any type of restriction. We are therefore ready and confident in future collaborations. We can create the synergies between us as association and the direct consumers. We can encourage the conscious use of what is purchased and avoid unfair sales practices to damage the consumer. In conclusion, today we have the opportunity to show you the results of this one-year project, but this meeting should be considered not as the end of the trip, rather a new start. Our major goal is to spread the benefits of this initiative, reaching as many countries as possible in the relative consumers association, competent authorities, relevant stakeholders, and interested bodies and institution in order to share the information acquired in this occasion. In this way, we can really create a net of shared knowledge so that the dual food quality then can gain the attention it needs and deserves in order to really tackle the dual food quality issue. Thanks for your attention. And now I will give the floor to Francisco Guerreiro, member of the European Parliament.
Thank you, Silvia. Actually, you jumped the gun a little bit there because we actually have a short Q&A session before we move to Francisco, so I'm not letting you go just yet. We have a few questions here from the audience for you, Silvia. Actually, these questions there's a few anonymous ones. Don't be shy. Do feel free to put your name, everyone, if you'd like to put a question to our panelists. So, Silvia, the first question I have here for you is about how consumer associations can engage with the project if they want to. How can they best do that?
If you like, I can answer to some question.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Okay, thanks for jumping in, Floriana. Okay, so the first question that came here, an anonymous question, is about how can consumer associations engage with the project if they want to? Maybe you can expand a little bit on that.
Yes, so actually consumers who is in some of those Eastern countries where often happen dual food quality, find some products who believe that the ingredients are not really the same than in other countries, etc., but the packaging is the same and the brand is the same, can denounce at SAFE on we have a website where consumer can inform us and we can do a check and control if there is a case of dual food quality. But as you can imagine, Natasha, it's not easy that the consumer do that. So can you imagine a consumer go to Brussels, check all the ingredients, read, make a photo, then go back to some of those countries, control that each ingredient is the same. I mean, it's very difficult. However, consumers, they're really welcome to support us, to give us information. I'm sure we can find a way to cooperate when we have the information.
So in the event that there was a case for dual food quality, what would happen? What would be the next steps there if there was something discovered, even though you said it was quite difficult to do so?
It's difficult to do so from a consumer point of view. From consumer organization with technical people trained on dual food quality, then it's easy when you're trained, you know how to read ingredients, you have laboratory to do the test, so in that way it's much easier. So what could happen? Because there is unfair commercial practice directive, it's a directive, so each member state has its own legislation. So I think member states, the representative member states, together with the European Commission, should have the information of that industry doing dual food practice. And we at SAFE could try to talk to the industry to find easy solution before. And if there are not easy solutions to be found, then inform the member state authority, the European Commission, and try to start probably a procedure at national level.
And what do you think, in your opinion, is the main achievement, would you say, of this project so far?
Well, main achievement would be that there is no more dual food quality. So that would be the main achievement.
Ambitious aims, I like it.
Yeah, but already having talking with companies, with consumer organizations, talk about it. The consumer knows that dual food quality exists. Consumer do not know. When you ask the consumer what is dual food quality, they say, what are you talking about? Again, information, it's powerful. So create awareness to consumers that they know what it is, having cooperation with consumer organization, having a lot of cooperation with member states. So all this together could be really the solution.
We have one question here from Virginia Christou. And Virginia would like to know if there's any plan to expand the project to other related issues, for example, doing collective analysis of front of pack nutritional labeling.
So you mean expand in other area? That's what you mean?
I think expand to also look at kind of analysis of labeling generally. I think that's what she'd like to know.
Well, this is, it's a European project financed by the European Commission, and it's to tackle dual food quality. However, by doing this, we could find out other things for sure, but really is mainly concentrate on this. The project will end, the first part of the project will end now, end of August, but it's the dissemination part of the project will stay for many, many years. And we would like to cooperate with many member states, many countries to make this project larger and larger for the future.
I'll just give you one last question. Actually, this one is from Virginia. She would like to know how the New Deal for consumers might help in tackling dual food quality issues.
What a question, Virginia.
Big question for the last question.
I would like to be positive and hoping that things will get only better and better, and that we could really cooperate in a better way for the future, and really having a lot more results than now. I like to answer in a very generic way to be as diplomatic as possible, I think.
Very diplomatic of you, keeping all options open there. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Floriana.